President Bongbong Marcos is back from a state visit to China. More hopeful for improved ties and less tension between Manila and Beijing. Inflation accelerates again in December, but one economist finally sees it peaking very soon. And rainy days are still ahead for some portions of the country. We check on the weather in just a bit. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. President Bongbong Marcos is back in Manila after a brief state visit to China. To tell us more about how that went, we have Camille Samonte joining us over the phone. Camille, how did the president's visit to China go?
Sean, at about 5 this afternoon, President Bongbong Marcos and his delegation landed at the Villamor Air Base. They're coming from a 2-day state visit to China. In his arrival speech, President Marcos described his bilateral meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping as productive. Both leaders expressed their commitment to cooperation in the sector of agriculture, infrastructure, energy, and defense and security. The president was also able to bring home $22.8 billion worth of investment pledges from Chinese businesses. Agriculture products such as durian and coconut will be imported from the Philippines to China. Overall, Marcos and Xi have signed 14 bilateral agreements. President Marcos also said that he invited Xi for a state visit in the Philippines, but the Chinese leader has yet to accept his offer. Sean, President Marcos reiterated that maritime issues between the Philippines and China do not constitute the entirety of the relations between the two nations. He is also expecting tension in the West Philippine Sea to ease after his meeting with President Xi. Sean?
Thank you so much for that update, Camille Samonte, over the phone. And 8 out of 10 people believe that the Marcos administration should work with the United States in defending the country's sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea. This is according to a Pulse Asia survey. In the poll, 84% said that the U.S. should be an ally in the disputed territories. 52% believe that Japan should be the ally. 25% favored Australia. 24% mentioned the United Kingdom. And 23% said South Korea. Meanwhile, China was the 6th most frequent answer at 20%. This comes as President Bongbong Marcos returns to the Philippines from his short state visit to China, where part of the agenda was the West Philippine Sea. And on the economy, December inflation clocked in at its fastest pace in over a decade. The Philippine Statistics Authority reports that the Consumer Price Index jumped from 8.1% in December from 8% in November. This brings the full-year average for 2022 to 5.8%, more than double that of the Bangko Central's target range. The PSA said that higher increments in the indices of food, non-alcoholic beverages, restaurants, and accommodation services drove faster inflation. On the flip side, one economist noted that there are, quote, positive indications for 2023. And these include the potential COVID-19 endemicity, the reopening of China, and an end to the war in Ukraine.
Still, it would be prudent to remain cautious, no? Because in January, it might peak in January figure, no? But we're hoping, okay, barring other factors, no, that might mess that up, no? We hope that these 3 good things, no, would happen this year.
One News Now will be back with more stories after this quick break. Keep it here. watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Thousands of families in Palawan have been evacuated due to flooding triggered by a low-pressure area. Palawan Provincial Disaster Office Head Jeremiah Alili said that about 2,700 families have been evacuated in 2 municipalities of Palawan. No injuries have been reported. Meanwhile, Alili assures that the resources of the provincial government are enough to help those affected. Damage assessment to infrastructure and agriculture is ongoing.
Ongoing po yung ating assessment ngayon. May mga schools po kami na tayo na tinamaan o umaabot po na halos sa 11 schools ang nalubog sa baha sa Brooks Point. Yung damage to agriculture ay ongoing po yung ating assessment ngayon sa dalawang bayan.
A low-pressure area will continue to bring heavy rains to some parts of the country. The LPA was spotted off of the western coast of Palawan. Pag-asa says it is not likely to develop into a tropical depression in the next hours. Nevertheless, this LPA will bring moderate to heavy rains over Bicol, Quezon, Aurora, Cagayan Valley, the Visayas, the rest of Central Luzon, and the rest of Calabarzon. Despite this, improved weather is expected in the coming days.
By tomorrow, inaasahan natin na magiging mas maganda nga po yung panahon dito sa Metro Manila. Pero pagdating sa bandang Calabarzon, pwede pa rin po tayo makaranas ng mga pag-ulan. Pero hanggang bukas po, then sa other day, sa susunod na araw, pwede na pong mas gumanda yung panahon.
Pope Francis presided over the funeral mass in St. Peter's Square for his predecessor, Pope Benedict XVI. Present in the mass were official delegations from Italy and Benedict's native Germany. The King and Queen of Belgium, the Queen of Spain, and about 13 heads of state, as well as ambassadors from different countries, were also in attendance. More than 60,000 people are expected at the funeral in front of the St. Peter's Basilica. And for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.